Night by Dale Keegan. Dion, May called at the back door. Spring on the plane was coming in with a fury. Come on! Barely left her mouth when the wet wind whipped her voice back. The stout little Pekingese mix trotted from the direction of the low, scattered woods on the east side of the ranch house. Brat, get in here! The dog wagged her tail and trotted at the kitchen corner where food and drink were usually waiting. May checked the dog's water dish, and Dion wagged her feathery tail and continued crunching the dry kibble. In the small dining room, May sat at the computer and tried to focus on the newspaper article she was writing. The wind gusted against the house, and lightning danced across the sky. A high, whining howl made her skin crawl. She hoped coyotes were not coming in too close. A bolt hit nearby, and the boom resonated in the house. May flinched and went to the front door. Dion stood rigid, her ears pricked, sniffing the air and barking furiously. Hey, babe, it's okay, May said, leaning close. Dion growled low and barked, rising to higher pitches. She ran to the back door and barked, fit to burst. Hey, May said, stop it, listen. The dog hushed, cocked her head, then backed up and barked more. May switched on the porch light and peered through the glass. The setting sun revealed only trees whipping in the wind. Lightning illuminated the landscape here and there, crawling the clouds for seconds at a time. A dark shadow flashed across the pathway between her car and the trees, a zip of black that could have been anything from a large cat to, well, something black. All right, Dion, hush, May said. Come on. In the parlor, she clicked on the television. The power faded, then resumed. May shut off the TV with a sigh, returning to the kitchen as the power faded and came again. A thunderous deluge of rain poured down. May quickly put together supper leftovers and ate, afraid that the electricity would go out before she had it done. Her range and heat were gas, but she disliked doing things by flashlight when the power was out. Dion followed her around, sitting nearby whenever May stayed in one spot for a time. She repeatedly whimpered, raised her head and tail when May could only hear wind and water. At dark, the telephone on the counter rang. Hello? Hi, hon, her husband said from the other end. I'm holed up at the McCallums for a while. The old cottonwood fell across Route 3. I'll be in when they get it removed. The truck is coming. It'll be a few hours. Everything okay there? Yeah, some power fade and it's raining. Be careful. Love you. Love you. Bye. May turned to Dion as the storm lulled and frantic whinnying came from the barn. She grabbed her slicker from the back door closet and took a flashlight from the kitchen drawer before hurrying into the rain. The dog beat her to the barn, barking and calling like a hound. The horses had calmed and looked okay. May shined the light thoroughly into the two stalls on each side of the food bin, petting the horses' noses. All right, guys, she said. I guess Dion ran off whatever it was. She headed back to the house, realizing the door was open. They had not had much trouble with human rascals out here, but there was always a first time. May's foot was on the step when Dion shrieked from the brush to the south. She ran out, hoping the large flashlight would be a good weapon, and nearly slid off her feet on the wet ground. May yelled into the dark rain, shining the light toward the commotion. She heard thrashing and Dion's high yelping. At a thicket, she kicked the brush, screamed to dissuade whatever wildlife had hold of her little dog. A second's rush of something, and then parting the brush disclosed Dion cowered beneath it. She reached for the dog, who growled with an eerie tone.